So for those who don't understand the Amazon business model, a lot of listeners probably do, but for those that don't, just break down for us exactly how the business works, just from the basics. So you source a product from where?
Yeah, so we source, you could source a product from India, Mexico, Vietnam, but we source ours from China at the moment.
Okay.
We source the products from China.
You do that through Alibaba, is that?
So we've used different sources, but I think in the initial phases, Alibaba is probably the best to kind of get a lay of the land. And I think most of the suppliers we've found through Alibaba.
So you source a product in China, and we're going to get into the broader category in a minute. One thing I will say up front for the listeners is we won't reveal Mark's actual product. And I know that sometimes when you listen to these things, you go, why won't you tell us the actual product? It's because Mark sells in a marketplace. And what that means is that anybody can source the product and go and compete directly then in that marketplace. His success is not in a marketplace. The key is finding the right product. It's not in the marketing, it's not in the celebrity endorsement, it's not in how good you are in social media, it's in finding the product, and then there's some things under that, but we don't give it away because we don't want to put a target directly on Mark's product. But
just on that, like we are looking at starting to build off Amazon, and we've got a second brand in the wellness space that we're about to launch, which we'll launch off Amazon. And I'd love to come on and talk about that wellness brand, and later down the track talk about this brand in a little bit more detail. But we really need to get the runs on the board off of Amazon and really establish our brand for this first product, I think, before we'll go into depth on what it is.
So the Amazon brand, for a moment, you're in homewares, right?
Yeah, it's home.
Homewares, and it's quite a small item, so it's not an oversized big item.
Correct, yeah.
Which matters because big items cost more to ship and store, and if you don't move them fast enough, Amazon can charge excess storage fees and so on. So it's a smallish product in the home category that you source from China. How many products are you selling to generate $4 million a year?
Yeah, so we have 4 hero products, and a hero product is basically, you could consider it one listing. Now, under those 4 hero products, we have a bunch of variations, so size and color variations, for example. So one of our hero products has about 60 variations. Another has about 25. Another has about 31, and another has about 14. So I think, do the math on that, but 60, it's about 130 variations or something.
So what you're saying, if it was T-shirts, you might have a collared shirt, a T-shirt like that,
you might
a
have small, large, medium,
and the variations. So, but 4 main products.
4 main products.
In different sizes and colours. And that's basically on average $1 million per product in all the variations.
Well, no, to give you a bit of an idea, I've got the numbers on that. So 50% of the sales are one product. It was our first product. 25% of the sales are another product, 15% another, and 10% another. But one of those products is a really high ticket item, so it's always going to stay fairly low. And the other one is brand new. We only just launched it. So
what is high ticket? What is high ticket?
It's selling for $500 to $600.
Okay. So you got these 4 products that are coming from China. You order them there. They ship them to Amazon. And you're good to go from there. Yeah.
So we ship to Amazon, but we also have 3 3PL warehouses in the USA. So during busy periods, it's very hard to anticipate how much stock you're going to need. So sometimes we ship stuff to a warehouse in the US.
Sorry.
You all right, mate?
Give me.
It was right when you said that $500-600 product.
He just what?
And you did $4 million.
So I got a quick question.
Yeah.
That the one that does 50% of your sales, which is your first product. Do you feel that that's because it was your first product and it's grandfathered in and it's been on there for longer organically, or is it for another reason?
No, definitely. So it's because it's been on there the longest, and the longer that you're on an e-commerce platform, the more reviews that you're able to build, and so the more reviews, the more social proof. And there's certain tiers, I think, within the Amazon algorithm, that once you get to like 100 reviews or 1,000 reviews or 2,000 or 10,000, it actually increases the conversion because they're very prominent on the listing page, those star reviews.
Now, for some of our listeners that don't know too much about Amazon, because there's a fair few people that I know that watch our podcast that don't know too much about e-com, why Amazon?
Yeah, great question. Basically, in a nutshell, the cost of acquisition for a new customer on Amazon is lower than any other platform. It's lower than Facebook for my particular products, right? It's lower than being able to use Facebook ads. It's lower than Google ads. It's lower than all those other forms of advertising. Because Amazon, like Adam said, is a marketplace that has its own in-house advertising, and it's a search engine, right? Amazon is the third or fourth largest search engine in the world, but the difference between Amazon and other search engines is people go there to buy. And so the conversion is much higher than other platforms, and the cost of acquisition is much higher.
So
lower. Lower.
With those the product suite that you've got, having known what they are, it's a fairly competitive space.
Super
competitive. So, and I'm assuming, having done a little bit of, I've had a couple of brands on Amazon to sort of understand the lay of the land. What was because the main competitors that would have been there for quite some time before you.
Yeah.
So how'd you cut through? What was without giving too much away, I mean, it's pretty hard to patent that product to a degree. You can't. And as far as packaging, you can only get so fancy pants. So what was the number one kicker or driver that you were able to crack the code on to be able to become so competitive and pull 4 bricks?
Yes, sure. So I'll tell that story because it's probably worth listening to. But the first product that we did, I spent 6 months trying to develop it, and it was it was a bamboo charcoal air purifying bag, right? And it was like a fad product that was selling a lot at the time, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's get into this, and it failed. We had to basically liquidate it. Dominique chose their first product that we decided to sell, and Dominique is a really good consumer, and I've learnt that because every second day there's a parcel that arrives at my door. But basically, Dominique chose that product in a Project 100 competition.
So is this the winning product or the one that you had to fire sale?
The first product that we did. Sorry, the first product that I developed failed.
I thought you better put the blame on the Dom there for a minute.
No.
Wow.
Okay, so I need to be clear on that. My product failed.
This is recorded.
Dominique's product succeeded.
Does she remind you of that quite often?
Yes.
I would.
Absolutely. But she has a gift, and you know, she spends time on Instagram, and she can see what is going to be hot. She can see trends before they kind of become big in the marketplace, and that's probably been a really key part of our success. So I should probably say that up front. You know, having Dominique, having that woman's touch, and being able to understand the avatar has been important, especially in our niche. But what I was going to say is that yes, so she chose that first product as part of a competition where we had to just pick 100 or buy 100 units, put it on Amazon, and try and sell it. We did that. It sold out, but we were just making a huge loss. But it was working, and we wanted to test the business. We didn't want to go back to working a job for a third time. And so we ordered more units. We ordered another 1,000 or 3,000 units. And it was selling. It was working, but it was too cheap. At the margins, at the price that we needed to sell it at to be competitive with everybody else, we were losing money. And that's largely because most suppliers are selling on Amazon. And Amazon incentivizes the cheapest price. So the one thing that it does have a low acquisition cost, but the one thing that makes Amazon very hard is it can become a race to the bottom in price. So we're going into our second Christmas, and it's been a year of treading water, breaking even, or even, you know, we're probably in the red, like net, we're probably far in the red. And Dominique says, why are you so stressed? Every day I was stressed. We were arguing, and, you know, why are you so stressed? And I said, well, babe, we're not making any money. You know, we're not making any money. We can't sell the product at this price and stay in business. We're going to go broke. And she's like, well, put the price up. And I'm like, oh, you don't understand. If we put the price up, we won't be able to sell. If we put the price up, people will stop buying it. She's like, put the price up. If it doesn't work, do something else. And she's great like that. She can really zoom out and just, help me when I'm getting caught up in something like that. And so we put the price up $3 or something in October, I think it was 2020. Kept selling, didn't change the velocity. So a couple of days later, we put the price up again. Kept selling. By the end of that Q4, we'd gone on this product from $29 to $49. And all of a sudden, we were profitable.
So no packaging, no fugazi, no nothing.
No, so our package everyone's copied the packaging, but at the time, no one really had nice packaging, and ours was cheap, but it was nicer and it had a bit of metallic on it. And we featured it in the hero image, so it stood out a little bit. And we did something a little bit different. Instead of featuring the product, we featured the package, and so we learned through that during Q4, a lot more people would buy our product than our competitors because it looked more giftable.
So was that, in your opinion, what it was, or did it sustain after Q4? What? Obviously, there's products cheaper than yours.
No, we didn't drop the price. So the sales sustained, but relative to our competition, they started to gain ground on us again. So we for those who understand Amazon, they would know that there's a BSR, which is bestseller rank for each category. And for this product, for example, our BSR would hover around 15,000 to 25,000, but during Q4, we'd get as low as 2,000. So relative to all the other products in that category, our BSR improves through Q4 because it's giftable.
That's about to say. So you maintain throughout the year just to smash Q4.
Yes, but this year, just gone, we smashed January to October, and Q4 we actually did worse than we did last year. But we made a change in PPC management right before Christmas, and it was probably more to do with strategy and execution. We got a couple of things wrong at the beginning, and now November was really bad. But it's definitely about, like you asked about profit margins, and it fluctuates. Like net, it's about 20%, but at some parts of the year, it can get as low as 15% because advertising costs get much higher. And then in Q4, the margin gets up to 25, 30% sometimes on some products.
How much is Q4 relative to the rest of the year?
I haven't worked it out for 2023, but in 2022, it was 33% of revenue.
So 20% margin, $800,000 a year net. It's about $15,000 a week, a couple grand a day.
What he's saying is your shout for lunch.
Yeah.
Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that episode of Unemployable. If you want to watch another clip, click here, or if you want to see the full episode, click here. Bye for now.